Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. Also in short form it is called as EC2 and its instances. Instances meaning what are its various types. Also the term elastic is going to be used many times in Amazon cloud when we study Amazon cloud. So what does elastic means? Elastic means if we are able to increase or decrease our demand according to our needs. So what are the various demands we can have in cloud? It can be infrastructural demand, it can be a platform demand, it can be a software demand. So we have already seen it in the previous video what is IAS, PAS and SAS. So let's directly jump to what is EC2. So let me read this line out. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon EC2 provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud as Amazon EC2 instances. So whatever they are providing it in terms of EC2 instances to the user. So what was the need to build this Amazon EC2? See, suppose I'm starting a new company and in for this new company I want different kind of systems. What are the different kinds of systems? Suppose I need 10 system with core i3 processor with Windows operating system and 4 GB of RAM. Another 10 I need of core i5 systems with Linux operating system and 8 GB of RAM. Another 10 I need with Mac operating system with let us say 16 GB of RAM and core i7 processor. So these are different. I need different infrastructure. I need different uh, softwares also, different Windows operating, different operating system, different processor. So if I'm starting a new company, I do not want to buy everything. I need servers also for to manage all these computing facility. So if I'm a startup, I do not have much money to start my company, then I do not want to spend this much. I only want someone to give me all these things on rent. I'll just log in through my internet and I can get all these things on rent. So Amazon EC2 has made this thing possible. So let us see the next line in this. Imagine you are responsible for the architecture of your company's resources and need to support new websites with traditional on-premise resources. You have to do the following. So if you do not use Amazon EC2, what you have to do? You have to spend money upfront to purchase the hardware. You have to wait for the servers to be delivered to you. You have to install the servers in your physical data centers. You have to make all the necessary configuration. So all these things you have to do physically. You have to spend the money. You have to buy everything. So by comparison with an Amazon EC2 instance, you can use a virtual server to run application in the AWS cloud. Okay, so if you rent all these things on Amazon EC2, what will you get? Let us see. You can provision and launch an Amazon EC2 instance within minutes. So within minutes, for example, you can configure within minutes, you can configure a Core i7 system with Linux operating system with whatever amount of RAM you need. Okay, so and you have to pay only for the amount of time you are using it. You can stop using it when you have finished running a workload. You pay only for the compute time you use when an instance is running, not when it is stopped. You can save cost by paying only for server capacity that you need or want. Okay, so we have already made a video lecture on how to use EC2 instance. Okay, so you can check that lecture out to how to configure a Windows operating system. There we have used just 1 GB of RAM and within minutes how you can launch an EC2 instance. Okay, so these are the benefits. Let's see what are the different types of EC2 instance. Okay, so uh, Amazon EC2 instance types are optimized for different tasks. When selecting an instance type, consider the specific needs of your workloads and application. This might include requirements for compute, memory, or storage capabilities. So, instance type is various types of EC2 instance you can create. For example, you are you just want to work on Excel sheets and Word files and simple uh, operations. You may want to build simple games. Okay, you want to build simple websites. Okay, simple websites mean which do not require much compute capacity or very large memory or very large storage capabilities, which do not require that. Then what kind of instance you want? If you want to build a very high-end game, okay, very heavy game you want to build, then what kind of EC2 instance you will be needing? Okay, all these things we will discuss now. So first instance that comes up is general purpose instances. Okay, what is a general purpose? General purpose instance provide a balance of compute, memory, and networking resources. Okay, these are the three main things. You can use them for a variety of workloads such as application servers, gaming servers, backend servers for enterprise applications, small and medium databases. Okay, so basically all these things you can use uh, if on an average these workload like compute, memory, and networking resources, you want to use it on an average basis, then you can use a general purpose instance. Now, suppose that on the last line, if you can see, suppose that you have an application in which the resource needs for compute, memory, and networking are roughly equivalent. You might consider running it on a general purpose instance because the application does not require optimization in any single resource area. Okay, so moving on to the next instance. So next is compute optimized instance. In this kind of instance, if you need a higher computing power, then you will require a compute optimized instance. So what is a compute optimized instance? Compute optimized instances are ideal for compute bound applications that benefit from high performance processors. Like general purpose instances, you can use compute optimized instances for workloads such as web application and gaming servers. Okay, so in this high-end gaming servers, you can build on compute optimized instances. However, the difference is compute optimized applications are ideal for high performance web servers, compute intensive application servers, and dedicated gaming servers. Okay, so these are specifically designed, compute optimized instances are specifically designed for these kinds of things. Now, if you use compute optimized instances, you have to pay much more than general optimized instances. That also we have to consider because we will be requiring higher RAM, we will be requiring a higher processor. So you have to pay more. So we need to know about these instances so that we will pay only for the the work in hand. We do not pay uh, if we are, for example, we are making a simple website, and if we choose a computer optimized instance, we have to pay much more. You can also use computer optimized instance for batch processing workloads that require processing many transactions in a single group. So if you want to do many transactions simultaneously, then also computer optimized instances are good. Next instance is memory optimized instance. So what is this instance? These instances are designed to deliver fast performance for workloads that process large data sets in memory. Okay, suppose that you have a workload that requires large amount of data that is preloaded before running an application. For example, you may require a 2 GB of data preloaded in the main memory. Then you need memory optimized instance. So you have to select this instance. Okay, this scenario might be a high performance database or a workload that involves performing real time processing of a large amount of unstructured data. In these type of use cases, consider using a memory optimized instance. Memory optimized instances enable you to run workloads with high memory needs and receive great performance. Okay, its example is high compute and memory intensive workloads such as front-end electronic design automation, relational database workloads with high per core licensing fees, and financial actuarially and data analytics simulation workloads. Okay, next instance is accelerated computing instances. Okay, now if you need many CPUs at once, then this kind of instance is used. So these use hardware accelerators or co-processors to perform some functions more efficiently than is possible in software running on CPUs. Example of these functions include floating point number calculation, graphic processing, and data pattern matching. Okay, so if uh, we need very fast processing of data, then we have to accelerate our data on the hardware basis. So different kind of hardware and co-processors are used in accelerated computing instances. Okay. So in computing, a hardware accelerator is a component that can expedite data processing, that can, you know, add to the data processing part, add the acceleration to the expedite means add the acceleration to the data processing part. Accelerated computing instances are ideal for workloads such as graphics application, game streaming, and application streaming. So whenever in internet, if we are playing a game, for example Counter Strike, uh, accelerated computing instances are used to play these kinds of games. Okay, then next instance is storage optimized instance. In storage optimized instance are designed for workloads that require high sequential read and write access to large datasets on local storage. Example of workloads suitable for storage optimized instance include distributed file systems, data warehousing applications, and high frequency online transaction processing systems. Okay, so in storage optimized, the input and output per second time is going to be very less. So the read and write part from the database and to the database is going to be very fast. So this type of instance is called a storage optimized instance. Previously, we have studied, if I go to the previous slide, there is something called as memory optimized. So memory optimized is the one where we want to place large amount of data before running the application in the main memory. And what is storage optimized? Storage optimized is if we require high transaction per second with the database. So in the next line, let us see, in computing, the term input output operations per second is a metric that measures the performance of a storage device. Okay, so that is what I have said. Input output per second is the metric, is the benchmark by which we will judge the performance of the storage device. It indicates how many different input or output operations a device can perform in 1 second. Storage optimized instances are designed to deliver tens of thousands of low latency random IOPS to applications. Okay, so this is the storage optimized instance. And then at the end, we have on demand instances. Okay, what these instances are used for? These are ideal for short term, irregular workloads that cannot be interrupted. No upfront cost or minimum contracts apply. The instance run continuously until you stop them, and you pay for only the compute time you use. Sample use cases for on-demand instances include developing and testing applications and running applications that have unpredictable usage pattern. On-demand instances are not recommended for workloads that last a year or longer because these workloads can experience greater cost savings using reserved instances. Okay, so these are not recommended for workload that may last a year or longer. है ना? Okay, okay, so thank you for watching this video. Let's meet in the next video.